Alrighty. Welcome to B.I.V.I.P. I am your host, the notorious B.I.V., and you are my lovely VIPs. And this is my brother Taylor.
Hey, what's up, guys?
So, why does your head look so huge?
Because I have a big head.
No, I think it's because you. That's a little better.
That better?
That's a little better.
Alright.
Alright, so,
I do have a funny shaped head. I can't wear hats because of that.
Yeah?
Most of the time, yeah. Oh well.
So today we are reviewing. We saw Thor: Love and Thunder. On Saturday. Was it Saturday? Friday.
Thursday.
Oh, Thursday. We saw it last Thursday.
It was last weekend, yeah.
Yeah.
That's all that matters, really.
Yeah. So first of all, so you actually mentioned as we're leaving that the MCU movies don't have that impact that they used to have.
It's. I mean, it was kind of. This could have been told in a TV series. Maybe we'll see what happens later with how it's connected to other stuff. Eternity, kind of seeing a cosmic entity. Spoiler alert, by the way.
Yeah, spoilers.
Now, seeing Eternity was kind of cool, and that maybe will connect somehow. I think that's the first time we've really actually seen a cosmic entity like that. But
yeah,
it's I don't know. It didn't seem like it was really all that connected to anything. Really.
Well, yeah, and that's kind of the thing I think right now. It's like none of the MCU movies feel like they're all that connected anymore, right? Ever since Endgame, like before that, you'd have some Marvel movies and then an Avenger movie, right? And then there's some more movies and then an Avenger movie. Like they were always leading up to something, and then ultimately everything led up to Thanos or whatever, right? And so now it's like, you know what I mean? It's like Shang-Chi just. I mean, I'm talking about Phase 4, right? Like Black Widow was kind of its own thing. Shang-Chi was its own thing.
Black Widow kind of also fit it more into really Phase 3 than anything else. It was just that's when they brought it out.
Yeah, that's true. Like that.
The entire movie was
prior to that.
Yeah, the entire movie was a flashback and was set between Civil War. So it was set in Phase 3, but that's kind of an anomaly.
But so you have, but I mean, you have like Shang-Chi just kind of happens in its own thing.
The rings themselves, like the end credit scene in that movie, that kind of ties to. I'm assuming it ties to other things, but
a little.
Yeah.
But Eternals happens all by itself, and that's this big global thing too. And I'm like, you're telling me no Avenger, when a giant celestial shows up in the sky at the end, half the world sees it. I'm like.
I think also too, it's not really necessarily super clear when these are all set. That's part of it too. You don't know when it's happening necessarily. I mean, they mentioned Captain Rogers and Iron Man being gone, but how long after that is that set?
I don't know. It just doesn't seem like anything's connected anymore. And that was the big thing with the MCU. It's everything's connected, right?
I also think too, and I was just something I was thinking on the way over. The series now they have Disney Plus series and stuff. They have more storytelling real estate to put all these different connections in, so they don't have to put all of it into, or they don't have to put bigger connections into every single movie just because it doesn't. They've got other stories and other mediums to tell it in.
Yeah. And I've always said I don't know. I think the whole MCU should go to streaming.
Yeah.
Yeah, just because I don't know, movies just. I don't think it's the best format for comic book storytelling, personally.
Okay.
Just because I don't know, you could do a lot more on streaming TV. But anyway, all that aside,
I was gonna say
we got Thor. So Thor: Love and Thunder. So I was entertained at first. For the first part was it was fun. It's cool that I don't know. I remember thinking just oh, they can just do whatever, and just have fun with it, you know what I mean? And they were. That's just kind of I think it starts out really fun. I think it kind of bogs down a little in the middle, maybe.
You know, and which is funny because it's kind of a shorter movie anyway. It's it's barely over 2 hours.
Yeah, but so we could talk. So I mean, Thor was fun. Thor's cool.
The character of the movie you're talking about.
The character.
Okay, yeah. I've been thinking lately. You know when you're going into the movie, Taika Waititi directs it. It's going to be kind of a goofy. I mean, some of them are going to be really funny, and some of them are just going to be like me.
Yeah.
But it kind of it was impressed upon me. The more Thor is jokes and jokes and here and jokes here and jokes there, and Thor is playing paid laughs. And Chris Hemsworth is a great comic actor, but making Thor funny all the time kind of makes him a joke. It doesn't. He's not really. You can't take him seriously.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah,
I can see that.
I know. It's kind of.
Yeah. I mean that's the direction they've gone since Ragnarok, right?
Right.
And I guess this is like Taika Waititi's like.
That's his thing. He directs comedy and he can like comedy and drama, like heavy drama sometimes.
Yeah.
All in the same scene. Anyway, that's just kind of how he does things.
And this is like the second of his trilogy, I guess. Like there's probably gonna.
I would imagine there'd be one more.
He's probably gonna do one more.
The thing is, though, like, and it's Thor wasn't. I mean, he was kind of funny, but he was also kind of serious, like in Endgame.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't Taika Waititi directing it. He was funny, but he wasn't like completely a joke.
Yeah.
I guess.
All right. So I thought Jane Foster Thor was all right.
Mm-hmm. It was kind of funny to see her being goofy. Actually, I thought that was funnier than Thor being silly again.
Yeah.
But just because she has these newfound powers and this new identity and stuff. I've seen all these people. I've dated this guy. All these people over these years. Being superheroes. Now I get to do it, and I get to come up with a catchphrase, and that was that I thought was fun.
Yeah, I thought that was good. I thought Jane Foster was like the worst part of like every Thor movie prior to this, because like you said, like she's just playing. She has to play it straight. She has to be like, I'm Jane Foster. I'm whatever. And here she got to like play around a little more. You know what I mean? And just be like. So it was definitely funner. I definitely. I'm glad like Doctor Strange ditched Nurse what's her name?
Oh, Christine.
And Doctor Strange, like I just like the love interests are just boring to me.
A lot of times.
And the side characters and stuff. I'm just like I want to see superheroes. I don't really want to see these other people doing.
It was that's why I think it's kind of I kind of liked Vision and Wanda together just because they're both they're both superheroes and it's their story adds a lot of depth to each one of them. But.
Yeah, like their power couple.
Yeah.
So yeah, I liked Jane in this one. I thought I don't know. I've heard people say that like the cancer thing, the cancer story was kind of shortchanged or whatever, but I thought it was all right.
Well, you have to introduce it and go over it, and it's not like she's had cancer in the last movie and she just found out. And now she's going through it all this, and you have a certain amount of time to tell. And these kind of there's a few different stories in there. There's Thor trying to figure out who he is. There's Gore trying to kill all the gods. There's Jane having cancer. There's these they kind of interact with each other, but at the same time they're kind of standalone stories in a way.
Yeah. And so so you brought up Gore. So Gore, I thought he was a pretty decent menacing villain, right? I think. I had my doubts, like when I saw previews and things like that. I was like, he looks kind of weird, but in the movie, I thought he came off pretty well.
I thought so too. Christian Bale did a really good job with that. I thought at the beginning I didn't quite. It was interesting that they opened the movie with his story essentially.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess he's the main threat and the main antagonist in the movie. But they opened the story they opened the movie with that story and kind of went with it but they didn't really explain necessarily how his power. I mean, the Necro Sword. They didn't explain necessarily what the powers. It was just all of a sudden it was there, and now I'm going to kill the god with it. Now I'm going to go kill everything else with it. And it didn't explain it until almost the very end that it was killed. The sword was actually killing him in a way.
Yeah.
From using it.
Yeah, but I mean, I think it worked. It's just like oh, I have this thing that now I can kill gods, right? Like that's fine, whatever.
I would have liked a little more explanation and a little more background on the sword necessarily, but I guess they don't really own the rights to the actual background of it necessarily because it's a Spider. It's a Sony has the rights to all the Spider-Man universe, and the Necrosword comes from the symbiote god. When the symbiotes are part of the Spider-Man universe, Marvel can't use them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I mean, you don't know that. I mean, maybe it's a little different in now just because at the end of the last Spider-Man movie, there's that little bit of venom that was stuck in our universe. But yeah, no, Sony owns the rights to symbiotes, which is why it was just a sword that can kill gods, and that's all.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, so the sword's like killing him, and I thought it was weird that like Mjolnir was killing Jane.
Well, it wasn't necessarily killing her, at least that I could understand. It was more that the use of it like sapped all her body's energy.
Was that it?
I would think so, yeah.
Okay, because I was kind of like wouldn't the hammer make her stronger? Like,
well, it made her stronger at the moment. Like it used her, but after all her strength is after she reverts back to just Jane Foster instead of the mighty Thor, her body has depleted all this energy, and now it has even less energy to fight off cancer. So every time she uses it, kind of drains her physical energy, and she can't really fight it off at the very end. That's why if I use it one more time, I'm gonna die, kind of thing.
All right,
but that's what I understood anyway.
Okay. So I said it kind of slowed down in the middle of the movie, and that's when they go to like visit Zeus.
Oh, right.
Which was weird. That part was kind of weird because like they go to like this city where all the gods are hanging out, right? And I'm like, in the previews when I saw Zeus, I was like, oh, they're gonna go visit like the Greek gods,
Olympus
or something, right? And instead, it's just like this city where all these weird gods hang out. I thought that was kind of weird.
Yeah.
Like I wish that would have been Olympus instead.
That would have made more sense. Like they could have even had maybe all the gods are having a meeting at Olympus.
Yeah,
that would have made more sense.
Right?
The city that no one's ever heard of, and that didn't make a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, but I liked Zeus. I thought Russell Crowe did a pretty good job.
He was funny, but they also kind of made him a joke too. So it was kind of hard to take him seriously in a way.
They did.
I don't know.
And yeah, and it was weird. So again, spoilers. But it was weird. I thought it was weird that that Thor just basically just like murders Zeus, right? It's just like, well, okay, well that guy was a dick anyway, whatever, like, okay, I guess.
He's gone, yeah.
But I mean, but he comes back, right? So maybe we'll see him in the.
I would assume we've probably seen it in the next Thor movie or somewhere in another movie that Thor might feature in.
Like that'd be pretty cool. The Greek gods versus the Norse gods or something, maybe.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Norse gods, like, why was Sif just like hanging out on some planet somewhere?
Well, the Asgardians technically are they're aliens in a way.
Yeah.
But so maybe she was helping that giant porcupine-looking thing that was dead. Maybe she was helping to protect it. Or the planet, whatever, and she just got involved in the middle of it.
I just thought that was weird.
It was a weird way to bring her back into the whole thing.
Yeah, because where was she when Hela came and like killed all the Warriors 3 or whatever? And now, like we didn't even see her in Ragnarok, right?
And it may have been something. Maybe the actress wasn't available to play her then, or something.
Maybe Jamie Alexander. Maybe so. So Sif's back for whatever that's worth.
She's missing an arm now.
Back without an arm. Yeah, so okay, so we saw Sif, and I mean overall it was decent. I don't know. I almost like Ragnarok better.
Ragnarok seemed a little more focused, honestly.
Yeah, like it had just, I don't know.
Like stakes were higher in it.
Yeah. But so there were some other minor characters. Like I thought, what's his name? Heimdall's son was kind of interesting.
Axel, yeah, he was cool.
Right, like he kind of had his dad's powers and stuff.
Yeah,
that was pretty cool. And then Asgard as a theme park, I guess.
A tourist destination.
A tourist.
That was interesting.
That was interesting. Meeps and
Meek and Korg.
And Korg are back.
Yeah.
Meek. What is it?
Meek, M-I-E-K. Meek.
Meek? I thought it was Meeps.
Maybe not. Maybe that's just sounding mix. I don't know.
But I like that Meek, like, he was, like, there for a second. Mm-hmm. Like, it was funny.
It was a cameo, but it was not a throwaway cameo necessarily. Like, you know who he is, and he's there, and that I thought was cool.
Yeah. So, and I guess like the big thing now is Thor has a daughter. Like, how's that gonna work?
Well, this is at the very end of the movie. You see, you know, that after Gore makes his wish from eternity to bring his daughter back, he kind of asks Thor to take care of her, and so Thor ends up raising. But she calls him Uncle Thor in the trailer before they go out and fight.
Well, sure, but I mean, but he's got a kid, basically, right?
And random interesting fact I didn't learn until afterwards. That's actually Chris Hemsworth's daughter that plays her.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
I knew that. Actually.
I didn't know that. Okay.
But yeah, that's so. So I don't know where you go from there exactly. I mean, maybe.
If she shot those I-beams at him, maybe that's the second movie. Like Thor and his daughter like doing a thing together. Maybe they're just gonna retire Thor next movie or something like they did with Iron Man and Captain America. Well, Chris Hemsworth said he would play Thor until they kick him out, essentially. So he's game to play it for as long as he can.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. So I mean, overall, it was entertaining. Oh, and I forgot to talk about friggin' Guns N' Roses.
All the 80s music that's in there.
They have like almost every Guns N' Roses song in this movie, and it's annoying. It was weird to me, cause I'm okay. So like in Ragnarok, they had like Immigrant Song from Led Zeppelin, right? Like they played that a couple times. That was like kind of his theme song or whatever,
right?
And that was fine. Like I'm like, okay, that's cool. But I guess
maybe it was to kind of like it was more of almost an 80s themed movie in a way, and it's like there's the bright colors, there's the not so serious plot. Like what in the 80s? What in the 80s was serious?
Sure.
Maybe that's kind of part of it.
And maybe like Guns N' Roses is just too like close to me.
Oh, okay.
Cause I like that music.
Right.
And I have like feelings and like things associated with that music. And so then when I see it in a Thor movie, I'm just like, wait, what? Like, why?
Okay, no, it makes sense.
Like, why are you playing "Sweet Child of Mine"? That's weird.
Yeah, like I hadn't heard of Immigrant Song before necessarily before the last movie.
Yeah, like I wasn't huge into Led Zeppelin. Like I knew the song, but like it didn't have any like attachment to me.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, oh, that's fine.
Yeah, that is kind of interesting that the music they chose to use. I know, just randomly, I'm thinking back to Eternals. There was one scene where they're in the Amazon, in Druig's fortress or whatever, I don't know, whatever you call it. Anyway, but Cersei's phone goes off and it's playing a Lizzo song, which is kind of sensitive in the present, but it's a ringtone to her. Oh, okay, that's kind of funny that it's actually, and it kind of places it in a modern setting.
Yeah.
Thor, the music that's in there doesn't really. It's more thematic than it is like in the moment.
It's just
but I can totally see where it throw you off.
It took me out of the movie a little bit from time to time. I was just like, wait, Guns N' Roses. I mean, like maybe if they played one Guns N' Roses song, but they played like 5 Guns N' Roses.
Oh, see, I only know a few of them really. So.
I'm just like, are you gonna play the entire catalog of Guns N' Roses in this movie? Like what?
Did they pay to get their music in there?
And how does that even like relate to Thor? Like it doesn't even. It's just weird.
Yeah. But
I know in Batman. There was, they played like a Nirvana song, and that didn't really bother me that much. Like it was just like one time, and it was.
Was it like played in the scene, or was it more just kind of?
It was kind of in the scene, and it was kind of moody and whatever, and it wasn't like, I don't know. I guess it just depends. I guess for me personally, all the Guns N' Roses stuff just like took me out of it.
If they'd only played like maybe 2 songs, would that have been?
Or something, or one song, or like, I mean, like like at the very beginning when he's fighting with the guards, or he has that fight with like the alien bird creatures.
Right, the Guardians are helping.
The Guardians are helping. Like they play Welcome to the Jungle, right? And I'm like, okay, and that kind of worked, right? It's like, you know,
welcome to this big crazy mess that we're in
right now. Yeah, whatever. You know, but then it's like, every other song they played, I'm just like, wait, this doesn't even, it doesn't really work for me. So I don't know, that was weird. Anyway, overall decent movie. I would rate it beneath Ragnarok. Personally.
I would too. Yeah.
Just yeah.
It seemed less focused and more. It was still funny, but it was less focused and less impactful than Ragnarok was.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. All right. Anything else?
Not that I can think of, honestly. Yeah.
I thought the lightning bolt was kind of weird.
It's a physical lightning bolt. Yeah. It's...
You know, like the only reason they went there basically ended up being that they got like Zeus's lightning bolt, but then it was like it didn't really make all that much difference.
It made it made more difference, and it was more of a show when Zeus was messing around with it than it did when they got it. I don't know.
And I mean, like Thor's the god of thunder, so I guess seeing him with a lightning bolt,
or maybe it was just like he had used to use Stormbreaker to take the children home, so he didn't have any other weapon with him, or I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It was.
I thought I did see him like kind of giving the kids the power of Thor so they could help fight. That was I thought that was cool.
that was way cool.
Like that was one of the. I think that was probably one of the coolest points of the movie for me.
Yeah. Yeah, Thor shares his powers with all the little kids.
Asgardian kids that are kidnapped, and then they.
Yeah, that was funny.
I like that.
That was a good sequence. All right. Well, that's it. We saw Thor Ragnarok, Thor Love and Thunder. It was alright, and we had a good time though.
Yeah, we'll see what happens next, I guess.
We ate some popcorn, chewed on some licorice.
Red vines, yeah.
All right. Cool. All right. Well, that's it for us for today.
Peace out.
We'll be back with another movie update.
I think Black Panther's next one.
Is it?
In November.
Black Panther?
I think.
Okay. All right. So stay tuned. We love you guys, and we'll see you then.
All right. Bye.